So I genuinely need to know if I'm the a-hole because people are still mad at me. So on Thanksgiving, we were at my wife's parents'. It was me, her, our 2 kids, my wife's brother, his wife, their kid, and my in-laws, along with my mother-in-law's 2 siblings. It's annoying for me to go over there because they parrot whatever Fox News is saying that season. And of course, this year, pronouns got brought up. My brother-in-law and father-in-law started complaining that it's so annoying when people care so much. So I chimed in that the only people I ever vocally see complain about pronouns are Republicans, like they're doing now. They said they don't care about pronouns right after complaining about pronouns. So I just said, "Oh, okay, good to know." My father-in-law was a real jerk about it, like he is most of the time. My brother-in-law was trying to keep the peace, which I can appreciate. I made the decision then and there to call my father-in-law she and her, since he so adamantly said he didn't care about pronouns. When my mother-in-law asked who wanted what dessert, I took orders from people in the dining area. When I got to the kitchen, I said she'll have chocolate pie. My mother-in-law looked confused, but didn't say anything. I'm pretty sure my father-in-law heard this, but didn't say anything. Like an hour later, my father-in-law said something a little out of character, so I said, "Wow, did you ever think you'd hear her say that?" to my brother-in-law. Well, this really upset my father-in-law. He got upset and said he didn't know what I was trying to pull, but I'm not funny. I just said, "My bad. I thought you didn't care about pronouns. Would you prefer I called you him?" He never answered me and just got upset, to the point where he even threatened to take out his weenie to show me he was a man. My mother-in-law had to calm him down. It was pretty late, so people began heading out soon after, but it did get pretty awkward. I did feel a little bad, but also I feel like my point was made. I said sorry on my way out, but he didn't respond to it. My wife says it's still awkward talking to her parents on the phone, and I do feel bad. So am I the a-hole? My wife thinks I was out of line. Now, for a few comments. Comment 1. This is one of those cases where yes, you were kind of an idiot, but I'm okay with it, so I'm voting not the idiot. Comment 2. Not the idiot. Either she admits that she has her preferred pronouns, or she can shut the heck up. Comment 3. He threatened to take out his weenie? That's hilarious. Now for the next story. I think I'm being reasonable here, but my daughter-in-law's family thinks I'm being a jerk. I need other opinions. As background, my 36-year-old son is married to Mary, 36. Mary has an older sister, Susan. Susan is the golden child, and the family has always viewed Mary as less than. When my son was ready to propose, he followed Mary's wishes and asked her father for permission. Her father said yes, but pointed out that there was a family tradition that had to be followed. Traditionally, the grandmother gave her wedding and engagement rings to the first granddaughter to be married. Grandma was in Florida for the winter, so he would have to wait until Grandma came back to propose. He wasn't happy, but agreed. Susan found out. She pushed her boyfriend into getting engaged and let Grandma know. Mary's mom and Grandma told Mary that Susan would be getting Grandma's engagement ring, but since Mary's boyfriend had asked first, they would compromise and let Mary have the wedding ring. Both girls get married, and eventually, Susan has 2 daughters, now 7 and 3, and Mary has my now 1-year-old granddaughter. Here's the question. At my granddaughter's first birthday party, Susan brings up the family tradition and explains that her daughters will split her mom's rings like she and Mary did with their grandmothers. Then she laments how terrible it is that my wedding set isn't diamonds, because now my granddaughter will be forced to have my cheap rings. While my rings are not diamonds, they are far from cheap. However, that's not my family's tradition. While my granddaughter will eventually inherit my jewelry, I will not be giving up my rings before I die. I explained this and then said there was actually a much better alternative. My granddaughter could have my grandmother's wedding set if she wanted it. I was actually wearing them on my right hand, so I showed them to Susan and her mother. They both asked if those were real, since I don't actually wear diamonds much. I assured them that these were real diamonds. It is a very valuable set. Chaos ensued. Susan and her mom think I was rude for mentioning that my granddaughter will eventually inherit a much more expensive diamond set than Susan's daughters will. They think it's unfair that they will have to split a set, while my granddaughter will get the whole set and a more expensive set. For the record, I am very unlikely to ever have another grandchild. If my granddaughter was to get such a valuable gift, they think I should never have mentioned it because it will make Susan's girls jealous. I maintain I didn't bring it up. I only said something when Susan got pushy. Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Oof, these people are insufferable. Not the idiot. Lock up your valuables and limit contact. Don't accept any food or drinks from them either. Comment 2. Not the idiot. The ILs just won that round of play stupid games. Find out you're only leaving behind cheap prizes. Comment 3. Not the idiot. Honestly, a little surprised Susan didn't demand the rings for her kids. Now, for the update. After my granddaughter's birthday party, things seemed to settle down a bit. Then, the unthinkable happened. Tragically, my son and Mary were involved in a terrible car accident. Mary, my kind-hearted daughter-in-law, did not survive the impact. We are beyond devastated. My son is currently in the hospital, his condition slowly stabilizing, but the emotional trauma is immense. He's lost his partner, the love of his life, and the future they had planned together has been cruelly snatched away in an instant. The dispute over the rings seems so trivial now, yet it's a cruel reminder of how quickly joy can turn to anguish. Mary's absence at family gatherings is a gaping hole that we're all trying to navigate. Her family is broken, the grief is palpable, and the tension that existed before has dissolved into a shared, profound loss. In an act that Mary would have appreciated for its kindness, her mother offered my son Mary's rings back, saying that he should have them to remember her by. He accepted them, but the sight of those rings that symbolized so much hope and joy now only brings waves of grief. There's talk of setting up a trust for their future children with the rings, but those conversations are laden with a sadness that words can't describe. As for Susan and her mother, they've reached out to apologize for their earlier behavior, recognizing how petty our last argument was in the face of such an irrevocable loss. We're all trying to pull together for my son's sake, but the family dynamic has changed irrevocably. Every small disagreement we had about the rings now feels so inconsequential. The rings, once a symbol of a family tradition meant to bind us, have become a symbol of loss and what could have been. It's heartbreaking to see my son so lost in his grief, clutching onto the rings as if they might bring Mary back. As a family, we're learning the hard way that some things are just more important than material possessions or family squabbles. The only thing we can do now is to support each other and honor Mary's memory the best we can. Now, for the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. It's a tough situation, but it sounds like you're recognizing that past squabbles over jewelry mean nothing when faced with such a loss. It's good that you're coming together to support your son. Sometimes tragedy brings clarity, and it's heartening to see your family putting aside differences to focus on what truly matters, being there for each other during such a difficult time. Comment 2. Not the idiot. Honestly, life is too short for petty arguments. It's commendable that you've extended an apology and are now trying to navigate this new reality as a family. The fact that Mary's mother offered the rings back shows an incredible level of understanding and compassion. Let the rings be a symbol of love and forgiveness, and keep pushing through this together. Now, for the next story. My husband and I host Christmas for the family every year. My father-in-law has a new girlfriend who will be coming with him, whom I've never met before. She mentioned bringing her grandson with her to our holiday celebration. I'm personally not okay with this. Our house is not child-proof, pool, breakable decor, tile floors throughout, and we have 2 large dogs that aren't good with children. I don't want some random kid in my house whom I'll feel obligated to keep an eye on his safety while I'm trying to host, cook, and enjoy family time. Am I the jerk for wanting to tell my father-in-law that the kid can't come? Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1, not the idiot. However, it's going to be a hard sell if any other family members ever have kids. Consider this a warning if you have siblings. Comment 2, no, you would not be the idiot, even for the dogs alone. But if it means they can't come, be understanding of that. Comment 3, the real issue is 2 large dogs who don't like kids. End of story. None of you can take that risk. Now, for the update. It turned out to be the most memorable Christmas we've ever hosted. After sharing my concerns here and getting a mixed bag of advice, I decided to have a heart-to-heart with my father-in-law. I explained our worries about safety and the dynamics of the day. He was surprisingly understanding and suggested we meet his girlfriend and her grandson before the holiday to address any concerns and find a comfortable middle ground. The meeting was a game changer. The grandson, Max, was a sweet, well-behaved 4-year-old with a curiosity that lit up the room. His grandmother, Ellen, was kind and keenly aware of our worries. We all talked, and before we knew it, we had devised a plan. Ellen would bring some of Max's toys, and we agreed to designate a safe play area in the living room, away from the breakables. We also decided to keep the pool area locked and off-limits, and agreed on a schedule where Ellen would be responsible for supervising Max most of the time. But it was the dogs that surprised us the most. We had arranged for them to stay in our bedroom during the festivities, but Max was so gentle and calm around them during our meeting that we decided to introduce them under close supervision. To our amazement, they took to him immediately. It was as if they sensed he was a friend, not a foe. We still kept a close watch, but there was an unexpected and heartwarming bond formed that day. Christmas Day came, and Max was nothing short of an angel. The family fell in love with him. He played quietly with his toys, engaged with the adults, and the dogs, usually a whirlwind of chaos, became his personal guardians, behaving better than we've ever seen. Instead of being a distraction, Max brought a new warmth to our celebration. Ellen was a gem, too. She helped out in the kitchen, shared stories of her own family traditions, and her presence added a new layer to the gathering that enriched the day for all of us. My father-in-law looked happier than I've ever seen him, and it was clear Ellen and Max were a big reason why. As the evening wound down, we all sat together, full from dinner and warmed by the fire, watching Max doze off on the couch, a dog on either side of him like loyal protectors. It was in that moment I realized that family isn't always just about blood relations. It's about the bonds we form and the love we choose to accept. The fear of the unknown had almost robbed us of this joy, but I'm grateful we opened our home and hearts. It turned out to be a Christmas that truly captured the spirit of the season, new beginnings, love, and a reminder of the unexpected gifts life can bring. Now for the comments. Comment 1. You're the idiot for initially being skeptical about your father-in-law's girlfriend and her grandson. It's Christmas, the time for love and acceptance. Instead of giving them a chance, you almost let your caution rob everyone of a wonderful holiday experience. Good on you for coming around, but remember that the holiday spirit is about inclusivity and open hearts from the get-go. Comment 2. Not the idiot at all. It's completely reasonable to have concerns about bringing new people into your personal space, especially during a family-centric holiday like Christmas. It's great that you took the time to meet them beforehand to ensure everyone would be comfortable. You approached the situation with thoughtfulness and care, which ultimately led to a happy and warm celebration. Well done. Comment 3. Not the idiot. You did the right thing by taking a proactive approach to the situation. Having a preliminary meeting was a smart move to make sure that everyone's expectations were aligned and that the holiday would go smoothly. It's important to manage family dynamics, and you handled this with grace and maturity. It's heartwarming to hear that it turned out to be a lovely Christmas for everyone involved. Now, for the next story. I know how that sounds, but I just feel like I am losing my mind. Before and after marriage, we've talked about and planned our future down to the very city we would live in, and kids were always a part of it. Well, around September, I brought up when she would want to start trying for a kid, and she got really cold and told me she didn't want any. At first, I thought she may have gotten some health news, and when I told her that we could adopt, if the idea of pregnancy wasn't for her anymore, she kind of snapped on me and said she wasn't trying to have this conversation at the time. A few days after this, I sat her down and asked what made her change her mind, and she got really frustrated with me that I would even ask, and pretty much said she doesn't need to explain herself to me. Since those two conversations, it was so strange. She kept trying to just move on and act as if those conversations didn't happen. So I straight up told her we have to actually talk about it because the situation was bizarre. She told me I am not going to make her talk about anything. So the last couple of months have basically been her frustrated that I won't let this go. The kids thing is a big part of it, but if I just knew what was going on, I'd feel better. So I brought up divorce, and she told me that I am trying to strong-arm her into childbirth. Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. At this point, divorce is the only solution. If she relents and agrees to have a baby, she'll resent you and the baby. Just make your plans and file for divorce and hope it goes smoothly. Comment 2. Not the idiot. It's the sort of thing you need to be on the same page about before getting married, and you had discussed it and thought you were. Comment 3. Not the idiot sounds like she said whatever she had to say to get married. Now, for the update. It's been a month since I reached out about the troubles my partner and I were having regarding starting a family. I wish I could say things have gotten better, but they haven't. In fact, everything has taken a turn for the worse. About a week after my last post, my partner came home and said we needed to talk. I felt a glimmer of hope, thinking maybe they were finally ready to open up about their sudden change of heart. But instead, they sat me down and told me they were leaving. They said they'd been doing some soul-searching and realized they were never truly certain about wanting kids. They had hoped the feeling would pass, but it hadn't. They felt like staying in the relationship would be unfair to both of us, since I was clear about my desire for children. The next few days were a blur of tears and packing boxes. We didn't fight. It was eerily calm, like we were both numb. My partner moved out and into a friend's place. We've barely spoken since, except to discuss the logistics of separating our lives after years together. I've been trying to cope, but it feels like I'm mourning the loss of not just my partner, but the future we'd planned together. I've had to start thinking about life as a single person again, at an age where I thought I'd be starting a family. It's overwhelming to say the least. The silence in our home is deafening, and everything reminds me of the life we built. Friends have been supportive, but I can see the pity in their eyes, and it just twists the knife deeper. I've started seeing a therapist to help process the grief and betrayal I feel. They've suggested that my partner might have been grappling with this for a long time and just didn't know how to express it. Doesn't make it any less painful, though. I still don't fully understand what made my partner change their mind so drastically. And maybe I never will. Some friends suggest there might be someone else, but I don't have the energy to delve into that possibility. Right now, I just need to heal and rebuild. To those who reached out with advice and shared their own stories last time, thank you. It's comforting to know I'm not alone, even if my situation feels unbearably unique right now. I guess the next step is learning how to move forward, even when it feels like every step is through quicksand. Now, for the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. It's heartbreaking to hear about your situation, but you're absolutely not in the wrong for feeling devastated. Wanting a family is a fundamental life choice, and your partner should have been upfront about their feelings from the get-go. You deserve someone who shares your dreams and aspirations, and it's good to see you're seeking therapy to process these emotions. Hang in there. Comment 2. You're the idiot for not seeing the signs earlier. Communication is key in any relationship, and it seems like there was a serious lack of it on both ends. It's harsh, but sometimes we need to face the reality that people can change their minds about huge life decisions, including having children. It's a tough lesson to learn, but it's also a chance for you to grow and find someone more compatible in the future. Comment 3. Not the idiot at all. Your partner is the one who should be questioned for leading you on about such a significant life choice. You're doing the right thing by focusing on your healing with a therapist's help. It's a testament to your strength that you're still standing and willing to move forward after such a betrayal. Keep your head high. You've got this, and brighter days are ahead. If you liked this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day.